At this moment, Su Yan's heart trembled slightly. Under Li Yingxiao's overwhelming aura, we felt pressure seeping in. This reason told him not to believe, yet his emotions nodded in agreement, and his alchemist instinct whispered that the other party was not lying. He cautiously replied, "I've searched through all the texts here and found no great demon. Everything points to the path to Godod." Li Yingxiao raised an eyebrow and sneered, saying, "Nonsense. This place is called the Land of Buried Bones because it is filled with the corpses of ancient martial artists. If it truly were the path to Godod, why would it be sealed? And why did those people die so miserably?" Su Yan's expression darkened. He had considered those very doubts, but the thick pile of ancient texts had gradually made him stop questioning. He argued that since it is called the Land of Buried Bones, it must have an origin. This place has a supreme spirit vein that once birthed a true dragon, so it is naturally where one can achieve Godod. Li Yingxiao looked at him as if he were sleepwalking and sarcastically retorted, "It is precisely because there was a true dragon that its dragon energy was used to suppress the great demon." Su Yan shuddered and shook his head repeatedly, protesting, "That is impossible. After all these years of effort, can a few words of your nonsense turn white into black? Who exactly are you? If you don't reveal your identity now, don't blame me for turning hostile." His aura surged, and a powerful spiritual force enveloped Li Yingxiao, ready to strike a moment's notice. Li Yingxiao looked him straight in the eye, each word dropping like a boulder, "Because I am the one who previously broke a seal. I just found out that I accidentally released a clone of the great demon. If they reunite, there will be massive trouble." "What? You broke that seal?" Su Yan cried out in astonishment. "I don't believe you. Each seal is guarded by a secret treasure. If you truly broke it, where is the treasure now?" In Li Yingxiao's eyes, a shimmering light suddenly emerged, glowing faintly as it trembled, as if about to fall. The powerful life aura surged forth, yet the tear remained suspended without falling. He quietly said, "This is the true dragon's tear? Do you believe me now?" Su Yan drew a sharp, cold breath, his face turning pale. The other party had not only produced the true dragon's secret treasure, but clearly, that secret treasure had already been refined. Even for him, refining such an item wouldn't happen in the blink of an eye. At this point, he believed Li Yingxiao's words by 7 or 8 parts. His heart was in turmoil. If the great demon had truly existed below for so long, it would be a true catastrophe. Li Yingxiao said seriously, "As the head of the primal division of the Holy Domain, you must maintain the seals. Tell me, how many of the 7 seals are left now?" Su Yan's mind was in turmoil. As if possessed by a demon, he replied in a trembling voice, "5 seals have been opened. Only the last 2 remain, plus the 6th seal." Before he finished speaking, the earth began to shake violently, and the entire land of buried bones trembled as if someone had picked it up and put it down. A deafening explosion echoed in their ears. Both stared towards Sector 13 in the southwest, where dark energy surged upwards. Black clouds swirled rapidly in the sky, and anomalies appeared in succession. Su Yan's expression changed instantly. He looked at the direction of the disturbance and cried out in dismay, "No good. That is the 6th seal." Li Yingxiao was both horrified and enraged. "With such thick demonic energy, you still claim this leads to Godod? Were you blind or just pretending to be stupid? Damn it. The Holy Domain and Transformation Gods are completely incompetent and only ruin things." Li Yingxiao fumed. Stamping his foot, he transformed into a golden streak of light and shot toward the pitch black sky. Su Yan stood frozen in a daze from the scolding. It had been many years since anyone dared to shout at him like that. A moment later, he snapped back to reality, as he watched the direction Li Yingxiao had gone. A flash of blood, red light appeared, the blood god sun roared. "It is him. I finally found him. Return my blood beast." Su Yan frowned, knowing that the blood god palace had set up a boundary array in the land of buried bones to track someone. He hadn't expected it to be Li Yingxiao. They even considered asking the blood god son about the other party's origins. But at this moment, there was no time for peripheral issues. Behind him, Par Yunan had descended, waiting for instructions. "Par Yunan, mobilize all personnel and follow me to Sector 13 Southwest." Su Yan formed hand seals in front of his chest. The sound transmission echoed outwards, amplified like huge waves shaking all directions, summoning all experts above the martial venerable level in the land of buried bones. "I am Su Yan, the head of the primal division of the Holy Domain. I am temporarily mobilizing all forces in the land of buried bones. All experts at the martial venerable level and above must heed my command. Immediately gather in the southwest direction. Those who come will be heavily rewarded based on their strength. Those who disobey will be executed without mercy once discovered." In an instant, the entire land of buried bones boiled over like water heating up, like a single stone creating thousands of ripples. Countless martial artists in seclusion were awakened and rushed out of the mountains to gather in the southwest. With the prestige of the Holy Domain as immense as a mountain, who would dare to disobey? Li Yingxiao charged ahead, leading the way. At this point, his energy was significantly depleted, and behind him, the blood god sun pursued him relentlessly, as if demanding repayment of a debt. Just as he was about to reach the layer of black clouds, he suddenly saw 2 dark figures standing silently amidst the surging demonic mist. Amidst the darkness, Destructor 1 EBFJ and Horam were clearly visible. Destructor 1 EBFJ's eyes glowed with barely concealed excitement, and he didn't even bother to glance in Li Yingxiao's direction. This figure flashed as he plunged headfirst into the black clouds, instantly being swallowed by the demonic mist. Li Yingxiao inwardly sighed at his misfortune. It seemed that snatching the third physical body was far more urgent than possessing him. Therefore, he absolutely had to stop him. The demonic clouds boiled like a pot of water. One glance revealed it was an ominous place. Entering would inevitably mean being entangled by demonic energy, like a vengeful spirit clinging to one's neck. Although he wasn't afraid, just thinking about it was tiresome enough. Having nowhere to retreat, Li Vantaru charged into the demonic clouds. Not long after, HUY letter 1 EBFTTH letter 1 EA7NT letter 1 ED caught up, revealing his true form as he stood before the vast sea of billowing demonic energy. His face fluctuated between pale and green. The demonic energy in that place made even him wary. But if he didn't enter, where else could he find the blood beast? Remembering the blood beast, Pig gritted his teeth. The blood sea boomed and erupted, releasing blood energy in all directions, intending to use its power to resist the encroaching demonic energy. Suddenly, a streak of demonic light tore across the sky, followed by a black shadow rapidly rushing toward them. HUY letter 1 EBFTTH letter 1 EA7NT letter 1 ED trembled all over. Before he could even clearly see the person's face, he felt an aura so strong that it was not to be trifled with. In a panic, he blurted out, asking who the arriving figure was. An ice, cold voice rang out, asking where this cat and dog came from to block the path. The arrival was Emperor Lord T letter 1 ED1 NGNGUY letter 1 EC7 T Juanthan, carrying a large fish on his shoulder. Without another word, he charged straight through HUY letter 1 EBFTTH letter 1 EA7NT letter 1 ED and plunged into the dense black demonic clouds. HUY letter 1 EBFTTH letter 1 EA7NT letter 1 ED was so violently struck that his entire body trembled, leaving him severely injured and spitting blood. The opponent had merely made a casual sweep past him, yet it was enough to leave him in such a miserable state. As soon as Li Vantaru entered the demonic clouds, he released the gub boundary steel and hid inside it. Inside the gub boundary steel, it was exceptionally quiet. Li Vantaru looked at demonic sky armor and said in a deep voice, "This demonic energy originally lay dormant within me, and I could normally suppress it. However, amidst these demonic clouds, it is being stimulated by external energy and beginning to stir." He worriedly added, "This is troublesome. If martial artists from the buried bones land enter, such strong demonic energy makes it very easy for them to become demonized." The demonic dragon said, "There is an even bigger problem. The old emperor has also entered. He is certainly heading toward the seal, and this place, where demonic energy runs rampant, is like a fish finding water for him. If you encounter him, can you defeat him?" Li Vantaru said with a solemn expression. "First, let us find the location of the seal and then plan further. H letter 1 E9 a DI letter 1 EC5M and the experts of Ngai and Tai are here too. They are not just passive observers. The faint strand of demonic energy, after being drawn out by him, condensed in mid-air. Li Vantaru conveniently grabbed it and summoned divine fire to refine it while hovering. Before long, the demonic energy was refined, becoming formless and flawless, transforming into a wisp as thin as smoke. Upon completion, he injected that wisp of demonic energy into the demonic sky armor. The demonic dragon remarked that the demonic sky armor was originally an unusual item, and perhaps in a place where demonic energy pervades the sky like this, it could unleash miraculous effects. He easily repaired the 9th tier profound artifact. This task would be difficult for even a Grand Master refiner to accomplish quickly. However, within the world of the God Boundary Steel, where he controlled the rules, refining required very little effort. In another corner of the demonic clouds, the old emperor suddenly knitted his brows tightly. "With eyes? Cold eyes?" he mumbled. "The kid managed to cut off the connection with my wisp of demonic energy. He truly has some skill." His expression suddenly changed, and he said in surprise, "The guy has also arrived. How did he get here so fast?" In an instant, he sensed the aura of the Emperor Lord, making his expression even more unpleasant. He mumbled, "His power is far stronger than mine. I absolutely cannot let him seize this ancient clone body. Otherwise, I am done for. I must make time." The aura radiating from him caused the sky to immediately reveal a vacuum. A strange phenomenon gradually appeared in the distance on the ground, a continuous, winding mountain range, resembling a giant, prone dragon, as if a true dragon was sleeping soundly. H led 1 ECFM looked down and asked, "Master, where is this place?" The old emperor gave a faint smile and replied, "You've been roaming here for so many years. How could you still need to ask me?" The old emperor intently observed the dragon, chief terrain. Just its form bigly radiated a supreme dragon's prestige, heavily pressing down on the surrounding heaven and earth. He mumbled, "This mountain range truly once gave birth to a true dragon. No wonder it was called the Transformation Dragon Pond in ancient times. This terrain is the physical body remaining after the true dragon departed." H letter 1 ECFM also felt a heavy pressure in his heart, and he said in a trembling voice, "It's just the physical body, yet the aura is already so terrifying." The old emperor said with a gloomy expression, "A physical body capable of nurturing a true dragon cannot be ordinary. If I am not mistaken, this final seal must be a masterful creation." Although it may not equal the true pressure of pure Kai, it's not far behind, the old emperor said pensively and hesitantly. Forcefully destroying this dragon-shaped terrain may not necessarily succeed. Even if it does, I am afraid it might inadvertently help him. It would be better to wait for him to come and break the seal. But H1ECFM suddenly suggested, Master, there are still many human martial artists here. If we are unsure about confronting a powerful enemy, we can take advantage of them. The old emperor frowned then nodded continuously, saying, this plan isn't too bad. There are indeed several experts in the transformation dragon pun. Even if they can completely devour him, they are enough to give him a headache. Today, we'll just have to risk it and play it by ear. Billowing demonic clouds covered the entire buried bones land. Countless martial artists rushed inside in throngs, gathering with H-1E9ADI-1EC5MS group. H-1E9ADI-1EC5M glanced over and saw HUY-1EBFTTH-1EA7NT-1EED sitting and healing not far away. He quickly flew over and asked HUY-1EBFTTH-1EA7NT-1EED, Po wounded you? Who made you look so miserable? Where did the kid you were chasing go? HUY-1EBFTTH-1EA7NT-1EED slowly opened his eyes and gave a bitter laugh, replying, Lord H-1E9ADI-1EC5M. The kid ran away. I don't know who hit me. As soon as we met, they delivered a devastating blow. Their strength is unimaginably powerful. They also practice demonic arts. I am now possessed by demonic energy, and given the situation here, I can barely hold on. H-1E9ADI-1EC5M's expression changed as he said, one move defeated you, and they cultivate demonic arts. He suddenly remembered Lai Van Teru saying that a great demon had appeared, which now didn't seem like a joke. HUY-1EBFTTH-1EA7NT-1EED is a sixth star martial emperor, yet he was seriously injured in a single encounter, meaning the other person's strength must be at least above 7 stars. H-1E9ADI-1EC5M watched as the martial artists entered the strange phenomenon one by one, then suddenly shouted, everyone, focus on returning to the origin and eliminating distracting thoughts to resist the invasion of demonic energy. This below Martial Venerable, sit down immediately. Absolutely do not let the demonic energy enter your bodies. All experts above Martial Venerable, follow me. As soon as H-1E9ADI-1EC5M finished speaking, he led more than 10 experts soaring into the sky, heading straight for the demonic clouds. Lai Van Teru's words kept echoing in his mind. If this matter wasn't handled carefully, the entire continent might be implicated. Thinking of this, determination flashed in his eyes. Even if it costs him his life, he must seal the great demon once more. The entire group swiftly rushed into the demonic clouds, their momentum immense, as if preparing for a fierce battle. Only the experts from the main branch looked solemn. One person asked, Lord H-1E9ADI-1EC5M, do we need to send word back to the Holy Domain for reinforcements? H-1E9ADI-1EC5M replied, the situation is urgent, and it's too late for reinforcements now. We can only rely on ourselves. However, we must still send a message back. If something happens to us, everything here must be clearly recorded so future generations know what transpired. He immediately ordered H-1EA1D-1E5NAM. You stay here and set up a small long-distance sound transmission array. Transmit all the information about this place as quickly as possible. Understood? H-1EA1D-1E5NAM accepted the command and immediately separated from the team, descending to find a safe place to set up. The rest of the group continued to fly, and after flying for a while longer, H-1E9ADI-1EC5M's gaze suddenly halted. Moreover, it was very likely the person who had injured HUY-1EBFTTH-1EA7NT-1EED. Thor H-1E9ADI-1EC5M shouted. His face as dark as iron. The emperor slowly raised his head, raised an eyebrow, looked at the group, and said, HMPH, you arrived at just the right time. Pointing downwards, I ask you all, is the seventh seal the manifested physical body of the true dragon that was left behind? Everyone immediately looked down in horror. Only now could they clearly see the terrain below. H-1E9ADI-1EC5M took a sharp breath, thinking, asterisk, how can such a place exist in this world? Asterisk, he shouted. Who exactly are you? If you don't speak, don't blame us for becoming hostile. The emperor raised an eyebrow and replied, so that means you don't know how to break the seal either. His eyes scanned the group, and a grim smile appeared as he said, so many people, maybe I should turn them into demonic servants and use them as bombs. Who knows, maybe they can explode and break the dragon seal. H-1E9ADI-1EC5M's face darkened as he shouted, you truly are a great demon. Everyone, be careful. This person possesses terrifying strength. All join forces and help me capture him alive. As soon as H-1E9ADI-1EC5M gave the order, everyone attacked simultaneously. Over 20 people scattered across the sky, tightly surrounding the emperor. The emperor let out a cold laugh, his eyes filled with unconcealed disdain. A demonic hand appeared in the sky and grabbed once. It immediately subdued a martial artist, Demonic energy surged from his arm, like black smoke, drilling directly into the person's body. Before long, dozens of martial artists let out continuous screams. Their bodies were invaded by demonic energy, as if being dragged down to hell. Their skin gradually turned black, and their true nature faded away accordingly. After a while, the emperor retracted the demonic energy, and those martial artists also fell completely silent. Then each person turned towards the emperor, speaking in an excited whisper, "Greetings, master." The scene repeated itself, everyone bowed respectfully, and in an instant, they formed several tight circles around the emperor. Everyone shivered and took a sharp breath, paralyzed by fear. H letter 1E 9 a D I letter 1E C5M was also shocked and shouted loudly, "All martial venerables retreat. Do not let the demonic energy enter your bodies. Without the 9 heavens imperial energy defense, you fundamentally cannot withstand this demonic might." Although the opponent's strength far exceeded expectations, H letter 1E 9 a D I letter 1E C5M felt more confident, knowing his side had 17 martial emperors. He said in a loud voice, "Everyone, today we reburning our bridges. If we successfully seal this great demon, each person will not only receive a 9th rank profound artifact but also become an honored guest of the holy domain." The 17 martial emperors immediately took on solemn expressions, their oars surging. An earth-shattering battle was about to erupt. The emperor saw this and only gave a faint smile, with a wave of his hand. The crowd behind him roared with excitement, their fighting spirit surging like waves as they simultaneously charged forward. Observing from afar, Cao Artin was struck by a blow from the demon lord, and a strand of demonic energy directly pierced his body. He quickly circulated his blood god technique to expel it, but it was completely useless. The power of the blood sea, which originally polluted everything, was now being corroded by the demonic energy. His face turned ashen white with fear, and his heart trembled as he looked at the martial artists in the sky. He absolutely did not want to become a demonic servant taking orders from others. Cao Artin gritted his teeth and charged forward, transforming into a streak of light flying towards HUY letter 1 EBFTTH letter 1 EA7NT letter 1 ED blood god son. Only his master could save him now. Far away on the ground, H letter 1 EA1D letter 1 E5 Nam finished setting up the communication formation. He sighed in relief and muttered, "To prevent any mishaps, I use 7 different communication methods, hoping at least one reaches the holy domain. It's just a pity that reinforcements definitely want to arrive in time. I hope senior H letter 1 E9 a DI letter 1 EC5M achieve success quickly. I must leave immediately too," he said as he stood up. Suddenly, out of the corner of his eye, he spotted a small mound of earth beside him. The small mound suddenly cracked open, and a seedling sprouted from within. The small tree grew rapidly at visible speed, its entire body black as ink, with an apple-sized fruit hanging from its branches, radiating astonishing demonic energy. H letter 1 EA1D letter 1 E5 Nam was stunned. Most living creatures here had died under the brutal demonic cloud. Depth. This tree broke through the ground and grew lushly. The fruit clearly looks like an evil object. It's better to destroy it immediately. He turned his hand to condense energy and channeled all his strength to strike directly at the fruit. At that moment, his hand was blocked by another fist. His energy was held firmly and couldn't he advance further. H letter 1 EA1D letter 1 E5 Nam was startled as a figure appeared before his eyes. He panicked and said, "Are you from the Blood God Palace? Why are you stopping me from destroying this demonic object?" Cao Artin's face was distorted and grayish. "Breen," H letter 1 EA1D letter 1 E5 Nam said in horror. "You look very unstable. What exactly do you want to do? Let go of my hand immediately." Just then, another hand struck out, knocking Cao Artin's hand away. The person who appeared was Lai Van Teru. He had just finished refining the demonic heavenly armor within the divine steel boundary when he witnessed the scene. Without saying another word, he delivered a kick, knocking Cao Artin flying far away. Lai Van Teru stabilized himself, looked at Cao Artin, and spoke in a deep voice. "Don't go near him. He has fallen into a demonic state." Cao Artin frowned and replied, "Demonic or not, what does it matter? My current state is profoundly mysterious, something you wouldn't understand. Were you also trying to stop me from taking this demonic origin fruit?" Lai Van Teru glanced at the fruit behind him, frowned, and said, "That object is too bizarre. I advise you not to touch it. Let me destroy it." H letter 1 EA1D letter 1 E5 Nam quickly added, "Exactly. Looking at it makes me feel frustrated and uncomfortable. We must destroy this thing." Cao Artin roared furiously. "How dare you try to destroy my supreme demonic origin fruit?" Lai Van Teru, "The score between us will be settled today." Lai Van Teru frowned and said, "It seems there is no enmity between you and me. Brother Artin, return to your original state. Let me help you purge the demonic energy." Poor heart. "How funny." Cao Artin laughed disdainfully without reservation. The aura around him surged continuously, and pressure spread in all directions. He excitedly said, "Poor heart. See Lai Van Teru. I have now reached the 9 heavens martial emperor realm, all thanks to the demonic energy. I can also sense that this is just the beginning. If I obtain this demonic origin fruit, I might very well advance by 1 star. A single star is equivalent to a heaven and earth. Do you understand how important it is to me?" Lai Van Teru looked regretful and sighed softly, saying, "Even with world-shaking cultivation, If the soul is no longer your own, you're just a killing machine. What significance does that have? Tao Artin snapped back angrily. If I don't have a soul, and who do you think is talking to you? Tao Artin fiercely lunged downward, reaching out his hand to seize the demonic origin fruit. Lai Van Teru dodged to the side, kicking his hand away. Simultaneously, his right hand reached out, aiming directly for the demon origin fruit. Get lost! Tao Artin roared. The blood god banner flashed brightly, stabbing straight towards Lai Van Teru and sending shockwaves through his body. At that very moment, Lai Van Teru's brow twitched slightly, and two northern sky cold star swords shot forth, dancing in the air with several arcs of sword light, slicing simultaneously into the blood god banner. They tore it apart like rotten paper. The remaining force of the two long swords, undiminished, continued to fly toward Tao Artin. H letter 1 EA 1D letter 1 E5 Nam's eyes widened in astonishment. We hadn't expected Lai Van Teru to casually produce two 9th tier profound artifacts. Seeing the long swords bear down on him, Tao Artin, despite having reached the Emperor realm, understood that the blood god banner lacked the strength to suppress Lai Van Teru. He had no choice but to reveal his trump card, gripping a brilliant precious sword tightly in his right hand. He immediately slashed out without a word. Lai Van Teru's gaze suddenly focused. He stared intently at the sword. It was a cold bone sword he had once acquired at Mount Sumeru. H letter 1 EA 1D letter 1 E5 Nam's eyelids kept twitching. Who exactly were these two people? To treat 9th tier profound artifacts as common as cabbages in the market. Tao Artin said excitedly. I understand now. You don't want to see me surpass you, which is why you're trying to stop me from taking the demon origin fruit. Since Mount Sumeru, I've been suppressed by you. At the blood god palace, I thought I had far surpassed you, even no longer seeing you as a rival. Who knew I'd be let down so hard, left far behind. Now I finally have a chance to defeat you. So you're scared, Lai Van Teru calmly said. You have entered the demonic path. Talking further is useless. He gently pointed, and three northern sky cold star swords flew out to combine with the previous two, forming a 5-sword diagram. Its power surged instantly, spreading a clear sky sword intent. H letter 1 EA 1D letter 1 E5 Nam gaped in astonishment at the 5 northern sky cold star swords, thinking that if this continued, he might go crazy first. Tao Artin snorted coldly. So what if you have a lot of profound artifacts? Don't you remember that the cold frost sword in my hand isn't some ordinary 9th tier profound artifact? The cold frost sword was completely unsealed, and a cold energy ore erupted, instantly freezing an area of space. Its power grew steadily stronger, he said in a cold voice. This is the peak profound artifact that once suppressed a great demon at Mount Sumeru. Now it has become my life-bound profound artifact. I will offer my body as a sacrifice to the sword and unleash a full power strike. Let us see how you block it. Lai Van Teru's expression remained calm. This fighting intense surge as he said, if you sacrifice yourself to the sword, I will join you. Let us fight to the death and have fun. He was not suppressed by the sword's might in the least. His right hand raised the heavenfall tyrant blade, sensing the incoming sword force. Its light grew brighter, and blade energy spread in all directions. H letter 1 EA 1D letter 1 E5 Nam fell completely silent upon seeing Lai Van Teru produce a 6 9th tier profound artifact. His mind felt like it was about to explode. Tao Artin roared loudly, sword light brilliantly illuminating the heavens and earth as he slashed down fiercely, shouting, a single sword like a dream. A single sword creates emptiness. The sword's momentum resembled a falling meteor, causing the ground to tear open. The scene resembled a cataclysm where heaven collapsed and earth split. Lai Van Teru's expression turned frigid as he shouted each word. One blade through the years, one blade for eternity. The heavenfall tyrant blade emitted a resonating sound, and blade energy shot straight into the sky, covering all the sword light from the northern sky cold star swords. Amid terror, the blade intent transformed into a gigantic, fearsome figure, fiercely slashing directly at that stream of sword energy.